Welcome back to Omnifactory. Today we're going to be getting on with a few things to do with our spacesuit, but first let's get started with some increased GP generation, rather than having to right-click this thing over here. So extra utilities 2, we need to make some water mills, and I've got the system to make those for us, or it's partway through them. It's crafting some steel plate, so we just have to go and figure out a place to actually put them. Let's head up here. And it could be anywhere really. We've technically got a tree farm now, so we don't need anywhere over there, but over here might do. Sort of a nice clear area, apart from me destroying canola in the middle. Was that me destroying canola? No, it's just water. Fine. So yeah, we can build it out here. And are you chunk loaded? Let's take a look at the map. I just wanted to include claimed chunks. And if we just claim those and shift click, should be chunk loaded. And hopefully that will, let's just take a look at the chunks. Yeah, that seems to be very, very nice, in fact. Okay, so well, let's just get rid of you for a second, and let's just take a look at the sort of darkness display. We want to make sure that all of this is lit up, so let's just put some extra torches down. There we go. And we're just going to create a fairly simple but quite efficient layout. We're going to want this in the rough center, so about here will do. And we're going to want some water, so we're going to need that from the system. I'm in range. It's so nice. Buckets. And I'm going to need to go and fill those. I don't have an endeavour around here, so let's go and grab some water. I should only need 2 to get started. Well, I can even get to infinite from 2, but that's to make sure we light it up everywhere. That's 1, 2. That should do for now. And yeah, let's go up again. Yep, I'm going to light up there in a little while. So we're just going to dig out the ground a little bit around, and in either direction. We want to place a water mill in the center. That's usually the approach to take, and that's the center block right there. So let's get our water mills. And, 3. I only asked the system to create 3 for now, because that's so I can demonstrate the concept. And I want to put another one there. And I want to put another one there. So I'll just leave 3 spaces in between them, and we'll just use that to generate some GP to get started. How we're going to do that? We're also going to dig out this way, I should say. 3 this way as well, and you can obviously put another block right there. Another water mill. And the same thing in that direction. Okay, we're going to take our water buckets and we're just going to put them right here. These generate power when there is a flowing water block. You can't have source next to them, but flowing is fine. So if you only had 1 water mill, you could put one right there, and it would flow that way, and it would flow this way if it was dug out. We're going to be probably putting more of these water mills down, so having this generate enough power is good. And we're obviously going to need to just go and create an infinite pool for a second. There we go. And we'll just do that from up here. There we go. So 1 there. 1 there. And then we're going to do the same thing, but this way as well. So that center block should now be generating 16. It is. And each of these are generating 4, of course. So you can fill in more around these, so you can extend it out that way. In reality, though, you can get a large array of these just by putting one here, and then there's other ways of laying things out. But the basic form is sort of around this kind of size. And, well, we can come back to it later. Right now, that should be more than enough for us to get started with our GP generation. Let's go and pop downstairs and just see whether we can, I don't know, create some stone burnt or something. So stone burnt is polished stone. So if you just take some of that, dump it in our resonator, you should automatically be working. And it is. It's generating 25 power. Good. So that gets us started. We can generate a lot more power later, especially once we get to Ender Dragons, but it just gets us up and running. With that done, I've started this resonator making it red coal, which is actually going to be important in a second. Before I actually carry on, however, I just want to see what the speed upgrades are like. Upgrade speed. Energetic alloy, which is trivial for us to make, and that's just a weighted pressure plate in the resonator itself. So we just need a couple of gold plates. And that again is straightforward. Let's just put some gold. In fact, do I have any gold plates? I didn't check. Plate. No. Okay. Let's just put, I don't know, let's say a quarter stack in our compressor. I'm still going back to this terminal even though I don't need it anymore. So we're just going to see how much more GP it needs once the speed upgrades are in. It will certainly move faster, but we're also going to, I think, just put in, because it doesn't really need traditional power, I think I'm going to put in a sort of processing setup up here. And it doesn't auto-eject also, which is slightly inconvenient. But let's just get rid of this for a second. Let's get this out of here. And let's put it in its place, its final place, which can go right about there. Okay, and then I'm just going to put interface on this back side, which will then let me just put a cable there, and everything will extend properly. However, I am going to need some item conduit, so let's just get some conduit. There should be some item conduit, yep. Do we have an interface? It is crafting one. It's not quite done yet. It's working on the rubber right now. Are you going to change quick enough? You're doing something else. Okay, fine. I will just finish that off in a second. But we are going to want to put in something like an item conduit like here. And we're going to get a list of auto eject always. And then we'll be able to put the rest in as a recipe. Why am I using red coal, you may ask? Well, one of the things we're actually going to need as part of the quest, or the quest system, is this black steel dust. It's going to lead us on to having a spacesuit. So having black steel by itself. Oh, and thanks very much to the commenters that said I can turn off the bookmarks just by clicking this button. Okay. Frustrating when you can't actually find it when you're recording, but yeah. So we need black steel dust, and that's going to need some steel dust, which is something we can probably tell the system to make. Steel can't make steel dust, but it can probably just make regular steel. So let's just tell it to make, I don't know, maybe a stack. Can it make that? Charcoal dust. Okay, well that's really quite easy. Let's just go and put that in the macerator. I should probably put that as a recipe. I'm using it fairly often, so, but it's so fast to actually process a stack. It's just sort of like, well, I suppose I can do it on demand. Anyway, regardless, that means I can probably now afford the steel. Not steel, not you. You. There we go. There we go. Yep, we can. We'll just have that producing steel in the background because we're going to then macerate it back down into dust. Are you finished with my interface yet? You are. So why don't we just tell this what it needs to do. So red coal is, let's take it out of the system for a second. Red coal. It's one of the recipes we're going to need the resonator for. Yep. And I'm going to need some patterns first. But I already told the system to craft those, so that is straightforward. Red coal. And we'll just tell it to make one of those. There we go. And up here we go. And we'll put in the interface. We'll tell this we're going to be making red coal. And then we just need to connect an insert and ores extract. And then I just need some glass cable because I haven't converted everything across to ME conduit. I'm going to make a massive quantity before I do that. So I'm going to make some more glass cable. Oh, I've already got some. Good. Nice that didn't convert all of it in the background. And there we go. That should be connected up. And we should be able to tell the system to make red coal. Red coal. Yes, we can. Good. So I'm just going to tell it to craft the rest of us a full stack. So what's that? 29. So 35. Missing coal. What's the recipe? That shouldn't be missing coal. Where is it in here? Creates one red coal with coal. Well, I've got plenty of coal in the system. Let's just recreate that again. Maybe it's a different type of coal that's really... Oh, yeah. What is that? Why would it place that there? I don't even need 36. Go away. 1 to 1. Let's try that again. It's quicker to just go up here and drop it in rather than searching for it. There we go. Now, please make me some red coal. 35. Yep, good. Fine, so that's on its way. We're then going to need the other components for black steel dust. So I've already said we needed a steel dust. We just need some black bronze dust. We need some red coal and void crystal. Void crystal I've already made. It's just the usual coal in the atomic reconstructor. So we're making everything else apart from black bronze dust. So you need to macerate some copper, silver and gold, and you get 5. And I made it a full stack of each of these ingredients, so I should be able to just get a few stacks like this quite easily. We'll just dump that back in the system. And then, does my mixer have an interface yet? It does not have an interface, but because I didn't actually ever need it to do anything. Can we craft another interface? Are you going to be short of anything? You are not, but no crafting CPUs just yet. I hate it when it's actually crafting. So what are you crafting? Steel and red coal. Okay. Yeah, I've occupied it with both of the things that take a long time to do. So I'll skip forward. Our system is tied up a little bit, so I just manually put these weighty pressure plates in, and they can convert across just fine. I'll leave them there, which means we should be able to make the upgrade speed, and we'll just do that manually. Upgrade speed, and you just some energetic alloys, so I need energetic alloy. Are we doing that? We have loads. Okay, so upgrade base is 6 of them. Why don't we just make 4? And that means I need, what was it now? Upgrade speed means I need 16. Okay, and was it in the alloy smelter? Yes. Okay, alloy smelter. There we go. And we'll see just how much of a GP increase that needs, or it gives us. Just lets us make all these other things faster. And I'm just going to dump the rest of the coal in there. So we should be able to make the black bronze dust once we have everything. It's going to need to be in the mixer, but we need to be able to get all of these things. So let's get some steel going. We have nearly the full stack of steel. In fact, I just did get the full stack of steel. I'll just go and macerate that back up. Seems like a lot, but I'm sure we'll be using all of that. And steel dust, there it is. So red coal is fine. We need the what's it called? This stuff, void crystal. And what's the final ingredient again? The black bronze dust, I imagine. Yep. So black bronze, we have more than enough. So let's just dump this in the mixer. And for now, we'll just do it manually. That should start up. Yep, it's already working, and it should be producing black steel. Black steel. Yeah. 9 at a time. Good. Black steel dust. That's enough for the quest. Gets us started, and then it takes us towards spacesuits. So there is a space helmet, spacesuit chest piece, spacesuit leggings, and space boots. Okay, so at some points in order to progress, you'll need to go into space. Making yourself a spacesuit is the first step towards that. So I would assume that this requires lots of stuff that we hopefully have. So unprepared space helmets, thermal cloth, which is just string, and we can make string endlessly with our system outside, although I'm not probably doing that just yet. So why don't we just see how much string we've got in the system. 87. So making cloth is like that. Why don't we just convert it all over, and then let's see if I can just get some redstone and some cloth. And I'll just convert all of that over, and let's just see how many we get. Wait, 24. That's not quite probably what we're going to need. So unprepared. Oops, I need to drop here. Unprepared of the various kinds. Is 24 enough, or is it 27? I can never remember how many of these you actually need for a full set of armor. It's one of those things that. Why don't you? Why? That's the correct amount. Oh, that is right. I thought it was just empty. Yes, never mind. This is exactly the right amount, and that is completely coincidental. So I can put all those back in the system, and then we just need the rest of the suit. So space suit. Why really is there no? Oh, it's just called space helmet. Fine. So we need tier 3 circuits, which is straightforward. Glass panes, which is straightforward. Only 30E per tick, so that can be made anywhere. So we just have these two things. Pressure layer and radiation layer. I assume it's the same for all of them. So 4, 3, and let's just see. 4, 3, 1. So that's 8 of each so far. 10 of each. So 10 radiation layers, and that's a lot more cloth. So I need lead for you. and I need black steel for you. So obviously that's why we're making black steel. Okay, so I'm going to need to go and get some more string. I think that's in the spider matter. And I've got to remember where... I've just taken this stuff out of that one. Remember we had polymer clay shortages. I can't remember if the system was actually caught up. I've not actually had it running too much in the background. Let's get some of that obsidian dust out of there. Creeper matter, no. Spider matter, yes. So the spider matter, we can drop in here and tell it to just make string. And it's going to be 32 string, so basically 32 stacks of string will come out of here. And there's only 16 spaces, of course. So it'll only use half a stack of that matter before consuming it. I've been making salt, so and yes, people are going to complain probably that I'm wasting resources. It just happens to be really, really fast for me to create salt this way, because salt is the sort of basis for making titanium, and you're going to need a lot of titanium. I have lots of omni pennies that I don't, strictly speaking, need right now, but that salt, I need to move that conduit, that salt basically is going to go straight into here and is going to make salt water. The salt water is the fuel for making chlorine. The chlorine is the fuel for making, well, our tetrachloride once it actually has enough in here. Some of it is probably going over here and being used up. Yeah, so, or at least somewhere over here and being used up. So yeah, I want to make sure there's plenty of chlorine being produced and it's been oversupplied essentially, and that our system is able to at least feed some of it to this chlorine. I may even just emphasize this for the moment by putting this as a higher priority, and let's just see whether that actually helps. Are you start delivering chlorine more? Well, it takes a little while. That's a basic electrolyzer. I really should probably think about changing that to an advanced one over here. I could output straight down in that case, but yeah, fine for now. Because we can always, yeah, this just needs salt water, nothing else. So we can always output salt water from this, which is quite fast, and put it to a separate source, which just produces chlorine. So I think I'm going to do that, but I'll do it off camera. You are going to need a lot of chlorine, by the way, if you want to do these quests over here. So interdimensional teleportation, if you want to do that, needs 18 of these telepad blocks, but that needs 18 travel anchors and 18 octadic. The travel anchors are the things that require dark steel, which take an age, vibrant alloy, which is quite easy, and pulsating crystals. So that's a fair amount of stuff. The octadic is just more vibrant and energetic, so that's not too much of an issue. But if you have a look at the next quest over, the fuel loading, so things like the fueling station, it's all HV tier stuff. So we're going to probably need titanium in here somewhere. These probably don't need it. Where did I see titanium? It's got to be in here somewhere. Or have I misremembered? May have misremembered. Anyway, onward. We'll come back to that in a second once I remember which quest it is. Definitely need titanium. So just keep that being produced, basically. And we're going to want to get some more magnesium too. So plenty of salt is an advantage. You're all made. Does that mean our upgrades are now made? Upgrade. Yep, those are done. So let's just dump in 4 and let's see how many it needs, or if it's going to increase at all. Needs, well, let's see. Let's just put some more coal in there. Will you still run? I can never remember if it actually needs more from this. Yeah, 80 GP. Nope. 32 GP, so even that won't do it. So even one upgrade, yep. We're going to need more water mills. Oh dear. So water mills, what am I short of? So let's just ask for another 3. I'm short of conductive iron gears, some more charcoal dust, some bronze rings, and that's about it. I need bits and pieces otherwise. Okay, I'll make those in the background and I'll see if we can sort of ramp up our GP production. Now we should have everything we need for those layers. So layers, there they are. So radiation layers, we're going to want 10 of these. So I'm just going to click them out manually. And I did make enough lead plates for that. I'm going to do the same thing with these, and hopefully I've counted the number of those right. It wouldn't be the first time I got them wrong, but we've got plenty of cloth from those, many 32 stacks of string that are being generated outside. And we have both of those ready. So I think that's everything we need, apart from like a refined circuit for the helm, which has been crafted. And that is enough. We just need the assembler. So let's just pop the helm in and let's pop all of those in. So that hopefully should be producing. Yes, it is. And then we can just hopefully dump these in as well. And it should use them up as it needs them, I would guess. Let's see how well it actually does in practice. It should dump them back in the auto system, so I don't need to do anything from that. The system should also be crafting. It's going to be, yeah, let me just take these out for a second. It's going to need to craft some steel up because I need some steel plates just for something else. Steel plates, yeah, and a stick. Because I need to make sure there's a still a file in the system, so steel file will do. And then we have water mills. So if I want 3 more of those, let's get 6. Yeah, it can start producing those. That's straightforward. And it has taken the chest piece, it seems. So hopefully we'll be producing stuff. So space helmet. There we go. Went on ahead, +1 armor. Okay. So we've got a space helmet, and does that count in my spacesuit quest? Hopefully it does. Yes, that's fine. Do I not need some kind of, you know, well, not just the spacesuit, but I presume I need something to breathe. I mean, I've only got some iron pieces on at the moment, apart from the boots, which are kind of handy for the double jump. But yep, we got the second piece, and the third and fourth piece should be done shortly. There we go. They're both done. So let's take them off. I have to take them out of the thing, and even, and we get the quest. Yes, thanks very much. I get some more stuff from that. That leads us into heavy steel plate in a suit workstation. So I presume that's what it's going to need. So an advanced compressor, well, I can already make those, I guess. Steel plating is just steel plate in a compressor. That needs an 100 EU per tick, which is why we need an advanced compressor. Okay, so advanced compressor. Let's look for compressor. I can craft a basic one, but I haven't told it to craft an advanced one yet. So, okay, advanced compressor. We need to just actually put that into a recipe because I'm probably going to need one anyway. We should probably upgrade our existing compressor to actually do this, and that'll make a nice, useful manual machine. When we do get this, however, do remember to take out these good electronic circuits and replace them with a couple of refined. We'll get the system to craft that before you put the recipe in. Otherwise, it won't be able to substitute properly, and you'll thank me for that later, I promise. So there we go with our spacesuit. And is everything else done here? This is seized for some reason. It probably is producing the wrong thing. CPU 1. It's making other stuff. I'll wait for it to finish. Okay, just going to put in some more water mills. Yes, you can just put them out here to, you know, create the frame, and I would do it otherwise, but I want a little bit more GP than that. So the other way of doing it is to put something, I think, one here, I want to say, or maybe it needs to be one further out. I can never remember. I want to make sure there's basically flowing water on 2 sides of this. So if I just take that away, well, all 4 sides, I should say, and take this away, same thing is going to be true there. Yep. And we can put that there and put that here. So there is flowing water. So we've got 16, 32, 48. And then there's a couple more at the ends. So you can also think about putting them here as well. Yep, that's done 2 on 2 sides. And then I'm just going to need to move this pool, aren't I? Let's just grab a couple of pieces there and make sure this is all filled in. Then we can just fill this out this way, at least for now. And do I just want to just improve this a little bit just by taking one of these away from the ends? Probably. Let's just take that away, and then we'll end up with a grid of 4 in the middle. We'll get us nice and efficient to start with, and we'll just expand that to this kind of size once we're ready with water mills. There's also a possibility I won't get to that point because, you know, we'll have other things to actually occupy our attention. But that's fine for now. I'm just going to just dig out these. Not that we need these space dug out, but it just makes it nice and squared off and easy to look at. So that's fine for now. We'll get some more running later, but that's 5. Oh, there's an 8% efficiency loss already. So effective power is only 14 instead of 16. But hopefully that means I should be able to use that speed upgrade. Let's just see if they're actually any good now. Or at least see how many of that I can actually use. Are they still in my inventory? They're not. They're in our system. So speed. Okay. And let's just grab some coal just to see whether this will actually succeed. Let's put some coal in and let's put in 1. So we should be able to deal with 32 because that's just 2 of the water mills. 3 should be able to deal with. 4. And then we'll probably get an efficiency loss, so we may not be able to deal with a 5th one. Let's just try it. But yeah, Yeah, it won't deal with the fifth one, but it will deal with 3 upgrades, so that is getting things done nice and quick. Also, that compressor may also be done. Advanced compressor, yep. Let's just clear this off in our system. The system can now craft charcoal dust. That's nice. Advanced compressor. I'm going to want some blacks. Is it what was it that it actually wanted? Steel heavy plating, which is just 2 steel plate. Steel plate of the regular kind. So let's just get 2 of them. We are going to need quite a lot, I would imagine, because they're part of the quest over here. If I remember rightly, some of these actually require steel plate. There they are. Yeah, the fueling station requires 3 of them. Machine structure requires stainless steel plate. And machine blocks require more steel plate. And around you go. So yeah, that's fine. The other thing I wanted to check out is some of these thermal expansion machines. And the thermal expansion at thermal, a bunch of machines, particularly like the alternative to making obsidian. Obsidian is one of the things that's going to be needed for the space quests, and you need like a full stack of it. So if you're generating obsidian the way I am with the fluid solidifier, this is very slow. I mean, we could just craft the next tiers up, and that's where we may end up going, and it will just make it from lava. But there's also the igneous extruder, which makes it directly from lava and water in the same kind of way. And then we have over here the recipe. Now, the recipe for this requires lots of stainless steel and requires this mana infused stuff. Now, the mana infused we've made before, but requires mana infused metal and primal. So if we're going to get into thermal expansion at all, and this is not medium voltage, this is high voltage, so that's fine. And we have that's just above the original blast furnace, what it was able to create. So now technically we're able to create this mana infused ingot, which can be used for a bunch of different things. So we need to probably get into that pretty soon too, and that will let us make a bunch of other stuff that we've not able to make until so far. So yeah, I quite like it. Okay, so we got the compressor. Is that steel plate done? Steel plate. You should be done. Why aren't you? Steel plate. Yeah, you should be. Steel plate. Yep, 2 of you. And let's just go and make one of those heavy steel plates. Then we can get to our workstation. Are you the medium voltage tier? You are, so we can put you here. And how fast are you by comparison? Yeah, you're a bit faster, I think. So maybe we'll put our recipes out here for an advanced compressor rather than use the one inside. I think there's a, I think I have another compressor out here somewhere on top of one of these stacks that just deals with all the recipes. But yeah, we'll convert it out here. There's our steel heavy plating, which should give us the quest. There we are, steel heavy plates. And we can take that, and that'll take us to a suit workstation, it looks like. Suit workstation, low pressure tank, and gas charge pad. Suit workstation is needed to install low pressure tanks, or a larger tank if you like, onto your spacesuit chest piece. As you might imagine, you need something to breathe. Once installed, you can stand on a gas charging pad to fill up the tanks with air. So presumably you can just put it anywhere on the overworld. Or, of course, you'll need to fill a gas charging pad with oxygen first. Well, no, air isn't oxygen. No, that's not, no. We're starting stationeers. We know this. Okay, so I guess it's Minecraft. So Minecraft, we're going to need some work tables. This is all stuff that we can actually build. I'm not sure if the system can actually make them all automatically, but let's just try it and let's see how far off we are. So, whoops. Really need a double sync mode. Suit. Workstation. Yeah. Change that over. Okay, can you make one of these, please? That would be nice. So suit craft 1. What are you short of? Anything? Good electronic circuit. Oh, of course it's missing good electronic circuits. Is it actually in the recipe itself, though? Because if it is, that's not too bad. Yes, it is in the recipe itself. Okay, so we can just basically eliminate that. Let's put that back in and get rid of both of you and tell it to make a couple of refined circuits. And I'll just be able to copy and paste them in. And, well, not copy and paste, actually use them as the recipe. Then we'll get the system to make one. Okay, I've created the suit workstation and the low pressure tank. Just a brief warning with the low pressure tank. The recipe is simple enough, low pressure, But you may have problems with this center thing, the portable tank hardened. It doesn't necessarily have the right sort of, or well, you can't really shift click it in all the time, or at least your system can't. Even if you put a tank in there, because this can be modified a little bit with different settings, it seems that it's not quite reliable. So take it out of the system, change any settings you need to, and put it back in, and you will be able to make the low pressure tank. So I've made one and a suit workstation. So I'm also crafting up the charge pad. That's going to take a little, well, about a minute or so. So I'm just going to put this suit workstation down and let's see if it needs any power. Doesn't seem to need any power, so that seems to be looking at what's in my current backpack. So why don't I just take those out and put these in. And I've got an O2 tank thing there that shows me what I can do. And we can put a low pressure tank in. And that just lets me fit it. Okay, so we have the ability to have tanks. And you can see an interface at the top left. That's sort of inconvenient when I've got my tooltip over there, but otherwise is fine. And it doesn't seem to be killing me that I don't have any O2, but that's something we'll perhaps have to have a look at later. I'm just gonna put my regular armor back for now. So that is installed. That actually means I need the gas charge pad and some oxygen. So let's just see if the gas charge pad is done. It is. And do you need any sort of power whatsoever? Gas charge pad actually needs some oxygen, so clearly I need to go and find my tank, or one of the tanks, and go and grab some oxygen from somewhere. And here we have oxygen. It's piled back into here. So we've got 16 buckets, and that's because I turned off the fluid tank because I needed oxygen for other things. So that is going to be straightforward. Assuming I can just dump oxygen in here. Looks like I can. And then I should just be able to stand on this, presumably. So if I just put this on, and then, yep, I'm filled up with oxygen. Okay, and that's only one bucket of oxygen. One, yeah, okay, fine. That will do for now. I suppose you should probably take that with you wherever you're going. So why don't we just take, can we actually take this back? No, can I not take, oh, can I not take it back? No, let's get some extra oxygen, okay. Do you retain your oxygen? No, you do not. Okay. So, just as a matter of precaution, you should probably make sure you take a tank full of oxygen with you, along with everything else. So, let's just get a little bit more of that. There we go. And that should be nice and safe in our backpack. So, we can put that there with the tank of oxygen. Okay. So we have one spacesuit. We have the ability to modify it to be quite good. And yeah, we're pretty much done with this episode, I think. That's going to take us to this quest, which we've now done. And we can now technically survive in space. That takes us on to actually going and doing stuff in space. Now, just as a precursor here, these telepads or whatever they're called. Yeah, so if I tell the system to craft like 18 of them, which is what it needs, you'll just see how much resources you need. So you see 68 obsidian, and remember that's the quite slow thing. So I may have to go and craft in a higher tier of that and just use up lots of lava, or indeed we'd need to get into thermal expansion to get more of it. The system doesn't know how to make travel anchors yet, but if it did, those will be quite laborious. Iron I'm actually out of. I need to go and generate more iron. And of course, vibrant quartz. It doesn't know how to make, an octadic it doesn't know how to make yet. The rest of the system can actually do, so yeah, that's just a matter of waiting, I think. And then the coordinate selector and paper, well, paper is a, it's quite easy. The coordinate selector I've told it how to make technically, but it needs MV emitter and a block of ender eyes, so bits and pieces. But we'll get to that next episode, and I hope you'll join me for that. So we've just been getting ready for space, really, this episode. Oh, one other thing I just want to close off with. This has no hoe, and people were saying you can just craft in, you know, stone hoes or wooden ones, and because you've got a tree farm, you've got free wood, and we can create free stone in the similar method we've got over there. Yes, but I think I'm probably going to go with the backhoe approach. So I get one of the commenters, I can't remember the name, sorry. And I may have mentioned this before, but just in case I didn't, we're able to just make dark steel and turn this into a dark backhoe, which actually then can take power, once you empower it, that is. And that then can be pulled out, put into something that charges it, push it back in, and it'll keep going. I don't need huge amounts of wood for the moment, but it's enough for me to just currently just generate a diamond equipment, because diamonds are basically free. But, you know, if you want something sustainable, then you need to do this. However, just bear in mind you may want to shut the system off occasionally, otherwise it will generate thousands upon thousands of wood really quite quickly. So depends on whether you want those. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching this episode. We'll see you next time for some more Omnifactory. If you've got any comments, any suggestions for other people playing through, put them in the comments down below. Otherwise, you can subscribe to the channel, of course, and get notifications by clicking on the bell as you normally would. And we'll see you next time for some more Omnifactory. As always, guys, thanks for watching.